Every single year, an unknown, undrafted rookie violently disrupts the depth chart and steals a roster spot right out from under a seasoned veteran. We are looking at 5 forgotten absolute warriors who have the freakish athletic traits to turn this entire team upside down. If you think the draft was the end of the story, you are dead wrong, because the real trench warfare begins right now. Before we expose these massive hidden gems, smash that like button, share this with every diehard fan you know, and subscribe so you never miss a breaking update. This coming weekend is the absolute, cutthroat proving ground for the ultimate underdogs. We are talking about 30 to 40 guys running out onto that practice field, fighting literally for their professional lives and a singular chance at NFL glory. Does anything get your blood pumping more than watching an absolute unknown claw their way up the depth chart against impossible odds? That is the pure, unfiltered magic of professional football. These are not just camp bodies. These are guys who could genuinely impact the future of this franchise. We are skipping over the predictable talking points today to look at 5 undrafted free agents who have a legitimate, puncher's chance at making this squad. The front office and coaching staff are watching their every single move under a microscope. Let's kick things off in the trenches with a massive human being who has completely captivated my attention. I am talking about Caden Barnett, the offensive lineman out of Wyoming. He is an absolute bulldozer, and frankly, it is baffling that he slipped through the cracks on draft weekend. A lot of top-tier analysts had a firm draftable grade on this kid. When you look at his athletic profile, it is genuinely shocking. He has the testing numbers that make scouts drool and a natural fluidity that you simply cannot teach a man of his size. You want him to hit an elite NFL weight room and get a little bit stronger, but here is the critical part. We are looking at a wide zone running scheme under Ben Johnson's offensive vision, and Barnett is a flawless schematic fit. Draft expert Dane Brugler pointed out that while Barnett needs to build better consistency in his sustained blocking, the raw mental and physical tools are flashing bright red. He is exactly the kind of scheme-diverse weapon that can be molded into a reliable protector. The guy is a 3-year starter who locked down right tackle for 2 solid years, and then, purely to prove he could do it, happily kicked inside to guard. That is the exact team-first mentality you want in your locker room. And the money never lies. The front office handed this kid nearly $300,000 in guaranteed cash. You do not throw that kind of money at a player you plan on cutting in August. At bare minimum, they see him as a premium practice squad stash, but he has a very real shot at the final roster. The offensive line room is absolutely suffocating with guys like Jordan McFadden and Luke Newman, but Barnett has the raw power to physically move someone out of a job. Moving to the defensive side of the ball, we have another absolute physical specimen who secured a massive bag of guaranteed money. Enter Jaden Loving, the defensive tackle out of Wake Forest. If you want a Cinderella story this summer, this is it. Loving is the absolute definition of a late bloomer who transferred out of Bethune-Cookman and then suddenly exploded onto the scene this past season. We are talking 8.5 tackles for loss, 2.5 sacks, and 25 crucial quarterback pressures. The front office has been obsessed with building an insanely athletic draft class, and Loving fits that mold to absolute perfection. They are hunting for physical anomalies with freakish traits that can be refined by elite NFL coaching. Loving shares a lot of DNA with Jordan Van Den Berg, the defensive tackle drafted in the 6th round. Loving might not be quite as fundamentally refined yet, but his ceiling is astronomical. His movement ability at his massive size is practically unheard of, and his pro day workout literally had NFL scouts buzzing and scrambling for their notebooks. He is the ultimate practice squad candidate. You give him the money, let him marinate for a year, and prepare him for the future. And this defensive tackle room is staring down a massive cliff. Jervin Dexter is entering the final year of his rookie deal. Grady Jarrett can be cut loose after this season. Guys like Kentavious Street and James Lynch are sitting on flimsy 1-year deals. Question of the day. Looking at this incredibly crowded but highly uncertain defensive line, do you think an undrafted rookie with raw traits like Jaden Loving actually has what it takes to steal a veteran's job this year? Get down in the comments right now and let me know your brutal, honest take. Next up on this absolute roller coaster is a guy who just makes you want to run through a brick wall. Hayden Large. If you dig into the tape, you will find out quickly that he was the undeniable heart and soul of the Iowa football team. Large is fascinating because he isn't your traditional prospect. He is an H-back, a vicious hybrid between a tight end and a fullback. If you look at him purely as an inline tight end, he is technically undersized. But his game is completely different. Iowa would line him up in the backfield, send him in fast motion, and use him as a human battering ram to lead block opposing linebackers into the turf. I am so fired up about his profile because it feels like the offense is heavily transitioning into more 12 and 13 personnel packages this year. Because Large can comfortably play that fullback hybrid role, it opens a backdoor for the team to carry 4 tight ends. You have Colston Loveland as a lethal big slot receiver, Cole Kmet as the most complete tight end in the building, and Sam Roush earning his paycheck primarily as a blocking rookie. And then you have Hayden Large. You aren't drawing up passing concepts for this guy. You are using him to completely shatter the will of opposing defenses in the run game. On top of that, he was a special teams demon at Iowa. If you want to stick around as an undrafted rookie, you have to be willing to bleed on special teams, and Large is built for it. We also need to shift gears to the offensive backfield, because we have to have a very serious conversation about Coleman Bennett, the running back out of Kennesaw State. Bennett is an absolute tackle-breaking machine. He is not going to blow anyone away with blinding straight-line speed, but the second the football is in his hands, he channels some serious Kyle Manengai energy. Where Bennett truly shines is out in space catching the football. This kid caught 27 passes last year for over 300 yards and found the end zone 7 times. There is one piece of film where he takes a screen pass, makes 2 defenders completely whiff, shatters another tackle, and takes it 60 yards to the house. When I saw that, my jaw hit the floor. The most frustrating part about this roster right now is the complete, gaping void at the running back 3 position. On paper, it is supposed to be Roscoe Johnson. But let's cut through the noise. Johnson has a terrifying concussion history, a massive red flag for a physical thumper. Add in last year's wrist injury and lingering knee issues, and you have to ask yourself if the Roscoe Johnson experiment is actually over. The door is kicked wide open. Behind DeAndre Swift and Kyle Manengai, it is an absolute dogfight. Britton Brown, Deion Hankins, and Coleman Bennett should all be smelling blood in the water. Bennett wins this job by proving he is a wildly superior pass catcher and a relentless special teams contributor. With Travis Homer gone, that third running back absolutely has to play massive special teams snaps. Finally, we have to talk about Skylar Thomas, a safety out of Oregon State who brings a wildly intriguing resume to the table. In the modern era of college football, where everyone hits the transfer portal, Thomas stayed fiercely loyal. He was a 3-year starter for the Beavers, a rare non-transfer player, and NFL front offices put major stock into that kind of grit. Dane Brugler had a solid 7th-round draft grade on Thomas, pointing out that he is a fantastic, good-sized athlete with the raw aggression to fight through heavy contact. He brings a wealth of special teams experience, having played nearly 50 career games with almost 200 total tackles and 14 pass breakups. He ran a 4.6 40-yard dash, which is absolutely passable for a hard-hitting safety. Look at the safety depth chart right now. Elijah Hicks is a proven player on special teams. Cam Lewis is sitting there as a versatile safety-nickel hybrid on a fresh 2-year contract. The mathematical margins are incredibly tight, but Thomas has the battle-tested grit to make the coaching staff think twice before handing him a pink slip. Before we wrap up this emotional roller coaster, I have to throw out a massive honorable mention to Squirrel White. Things might not have gone exactly to plan at Florida State, but do not forget how insanely productive he was at Tennessee during his first 3 years. He possesses game-changing speed and lethal return abilities. If he gets loose on a punt return in the preseason, the entire stadium is going to erupt. Keep him strictly on your radar. There you have it. 5 undrafted rookies facing impossible odds, fighting tooth and nail for a chance at glory. The passion, the heartbreak, and the ultimate triumph of the undrafted free agent is what makes this sport the greatest spectacle on earth. Keep your eyes glued to the practice field, because a new hero is about to emerge.